Okay, so God, I kind of took three sort of main points away from retreat. It's a very hectic adventure of studying and learning and hearing a lot, and so it's something that you had to be very intentional, and maybe we still do. A lot of us just need to sit down and just start writing and thinking about what even God said and what we're going to walk away with it from. But so the three things I kind of got, I think the biggest things are, one of the first point would be that I need to take God's perspective on holiness. And really, I think Brian's message, I think in my flesh, I would hear examples that you shared about like sneaking your table into work or like different things like that. And it kind of made me, because in my mind, I'm like, not a big deal. I'm going to take a table into work because I want to. And they were like, I'm going to take this tool that no one else uses home. Like I have like a cut corners version of holiness. But like what Brian's message really did was convicted me that there's nothing in the Bible that would lead you to believe that God's a cut corners kind of God. Like there's a difference between grace and then the meticulous, like Connor was saying, like length and color of the drapes on a specific wall, and that doesn't line up, and so that's wrong of me to act that way, and so that's something I have to give to God and to take holiness as seriously as He does. And then the second one is that there are just areas in my life where I don't necessarily have to come to God with an answer to move forward. Like there's like problems or like maybe a cycle or something like that where you would recognize that something needs to change. And my tendency is to like, I want to have like an answer. I want to come to God with like, help me to move forward in this. And I think that was also Brian's message, but where it's like, okay to just come to God at a loss for words. And yeah, it was, because he used Hannah as an example of just being desperate for God to do something in her life and coming to him in that position, believing that he is the God that he says he is, and he's a rewarder of those that diligently seek him. And so I don't have to figure out the answers to the problems in my life. Like it's obvious, but you don't have to. I don't have to know what's really even wrong. I can just say like, Lord, this sucks. I need you to help me get out of here. And he'll do that if I believe in him. And then the third point, just holiness, being the proper state of being for the Christian. Putting aside like thoughts that you kind of have to work to be holy. Like you do need to work to be holy. This is where it gets kind of dicey. But your spiritual man, like the Holy Spirit living inside of you, he's not varying in his holiness. The Holy Spirit is holy. And when you accept Jesus Christ, to come and to live inside of you, that spirit is still holy inside of you. So now you have these two kind of beings, your spiritual man and your fleshly man. And sometimes the temptation is to think that your spiritual man fluctuates. And like sometimes for me, it's like I can feel like I need to strengthen my spiritual man or fix these problems with my spiritual man. But my spiritual man is holy because my spiritual man is the Holy Spirit. Like I don't have to address problems in the spiritual man. The answer is to die more to the flesh and to figure out and trust God to like use the Holy Bible scalpel, to show me areas that he can just carve away and to get more and more of my flesh out of the way. And just so learning more to die daily with God, but and then in summary, just being with God more. I think the conference really showed me that some actions that I'd taken in my life to try to correct myself had resulted in just kind of being a tendency to get bored with like the Christianity that I thought was the answer, and instead like reintroduce like the fervor in the Bible that I maybe once had that I tried to put away, but like be mature enough to like direct it to a good place and to not just be like comparative or like corrective or all these things with my brothers and sisters, but just, be excited about the Word and study the Word and do all that stuff, but just trust God to use you through it and to speak through it. And so